So welcome back to part 2 of Not Scary Farm Review, 2012, 40th anniversary, yippee. Let's go right back into Uncle Willie's slaughterhouse. Maze got completely redone. It's one of the scarier mazes, darker mazes, cannibalistic, and I don't like cannibalism, so it's naturally a subject makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, I revealed myself, but compared to the last year's, it was like westerny and stuff. This year, they actually did like a more restaurant-y actual slaughterhouse. Um, I like what they did of going into the restaurant and like you go into the back area of the restaurant and then you go into the slaughterhouse itself through a fridge. What I didn't like is it wasn't like more gore. I wanted to see like more blood and gore and intestines and stuff like that. And like when you first get out of the refrigerator, like everything is to your right. So like nothing is breaking the fourth wall, which is like the point of a haunt. So like there's like you go out of the fridge, you make a right, then you make a left, and as you're going straight, there's like this first, platform of like cooking stuff, and there's like a place for scare actors. Then after that platform, there's like a little table which you don't go anywhere near because you're going straight, which is stupid. They should make you go near it and around. But you just keep going, and then there's another platform exactly like the first. So, you're just going straight, and it's like nothing's happening except there's the body there. Um, I wish there was a lot more screaming, and like piped in screaming from like people getting killed and stuff. Like there's no screaming in the skinning room. There's no new effects with like people getting skinned. I wanted to see that. I want to like make it more realistic. So that was kind of disappointing. So please add more screams and like people getting tortured and crying and stuff. I'm glad they dropped the whole girls getting tortured and stuff like they've done in the past years because that just didn't work out because no one wanted to play the part. I mean, there was, but there wasn't enough people that wanted to do that part. Um, the guy that's like chained sideways, he's usually a skeleton, but they actually like spray foamed him. I'm guessing, I don't know. They use spray foam for a lot of things to make him look like he's like boiling skin and like blood and intestines and stuff. So that was actually a good enhancement. But they took away his screaming. They put his screaming towards the front of the maze, not the exact front, but like in the refrigerator area. But they just need to add more screaming. Keep that screaming and add other screaming too. Um, I just think that more blood and gore, like in the grind room, how people are wrapped up in the black bags. They shouldn't be wrapped in black bags. They should be like exposed, bloody people on meat hooks. I mean, that would be like a new way to like see it and like actually have like fake bodies going into the meat grinder. But that's how it comes back to 2013. I mean, we've seen Slaughterhouse's tricks, so they'd have to change it up again a great deal if it is coming back. I don't mind Slaughterhouse actually coming back because that is Scary Maze. I hate the way you enter it. You enter it from the Acropolis, which sucks. You should enter it through the main gate, but I guess OSHA, the new management, was like, if there's an emergency in the park and we need to get a lot of people out at the same time, you'd have to open up the gate. So, that's the only thing I can think of, because it's stupid. So, I'm gonna give Slaughterhouse a 9.5 out of 10. And then we go to the next, which is 10 out of 10. Pinocchio Unstrung. I'm just saying 10 out of 10 right now. It was the best maze of the night. My favorite maze. It was short and powerful. Let me tell you that. But the sets were great. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but it did smell like wood in Geppetto's workshop. I don't know if it was like, lots of plywood from the construction or if that was actually put in. Scares were great. They had a donkey cage, which you stepped on it and like a guy could move it and it would like throw you off balance, which was awesome. I know there's definitely room for expansion in dance hall. They could definitely make that maze a little bit bigger compared to like Doll Factory. Doll Factory was really big, so compared to Pinocchio, I went in that maze like 3 times, and I kind of like mapped things out, and I know that there's more room in there. So, but that would be next year. They also had Bones in the back as a Pinocchio. Trying to think what else. The costumes are great. There was like, at least I didn't see, there was no store-bought masks. It was all prosthetics or like custom masks, which were great. I loved seeing that. I was like, yeah, finally. Someone's like knowing that no one likes store-bought masks and all that. That maze was this soundtrack was great. The lighting was great. Actors, the monsters, I could tell that they loved working in that maze. Definitely a maze I'd want to work in. So 10 out of 10, definitely. Then we'll go to our next maze in Bumper Cars, Dias de los Muertos 3D, and I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but it's one of 3D mazes. I video recorded it just because my camera's not night vision and it's fun to 3D, but it was good. It was, decent. I don't think I should come back next year. I think it's kind of old. But I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. There's not really a whole lot to even talk about it. David Ortiz left and it was taken over by Brooke, I think. Yeah, redid it, but it was like the same type of thing. So 7.5 out of 10. Okay, let's just go to Uncle Bobo's Big Top. It's zany and crazy as always. Soundtrack was great. I love this whole new thing that they're doing with like dark version of clowns instead of just like weird creepy clowns in general. They're actually like making it like dark, bloodthirsty clowns, which I think is cool. They had it. I don't know what that outhouse guy's name is that comes out. That was in Cornstalkers, but he was done up as a clown at the end, which was funny. They added some new stuff in the flea circus part of the maze. 3D was great. I was a little disappointed in the lay-in room, where the guys like lay into the walls and come out at you. I don't think they did that. I think they could have expanded that and made it a little bit more like brighter in there. So, I love 3D if it is used correctly. And I don't think 3D is used correctly in Dias de los Muertos. I think it's used correctly in Uncle Bobo's. So that's why I like it a lot more. But Uncle Bobo's, saw some familiar people. I know, Jafo was in there. Yeah, I saw Jafo. Or at least someone that looked like him. But, said hi to him and he responded. So it was cool to see familiar people. Also the clown that, like, does the little nose horny thing. She was there. I think it's a she. I don't know these things, but I saw like familiar people, so I was like glad to see like the same crew working Uncle Bobo's. I know I'll be a clown when I'm at Scary Farm, whether it's Clown Maze or Carnival, because that's where I want to go. So, respects. So I'm gonna give Uncle Bobo's a 9.5 out of 10 this year. Let's go. Evil Dead in the Log Ride. I think I was like, oh, I like that movie. It's a good movie. And then Evil Dead is gonna be in Log Ride. I'm like, oh wow, this is gonna be cool. But then I heard, there was a big thing that Log Ride and Mine Ride aren't gonna be used as haunted attractions, which made Mine Ride this terrible. This is stupid Mine Ride. They didn't even do anything. This is people make the driver was just making jokes. But Evil Dead scared me twice. For the use of little props and not building any scare or a couple scare platforms. It's not as much as Sleepy Hollow. They did bring a pretty good show. I liked the special effects. I definitely think it was one of the better log rides. Some people say know, but I think it was really good, and I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I liked it, because it fits, first of all, it fits Log Ride, just because that's what it is, and, yeah. So, yeah. Virus C, I think, was ruined, not only because the way you enter it, it was no more fencing, because people would complain. I mean, there's nothing in the front of Virus C, it's a diner. There's like nothing disturbing there, and yet they put like weird walls all the way around it, and I didn't just leave the fencing. And even if there was just fencing out the front, they could just like cover it up with black cloth, and people couldn't see inside. It was stupid. I think that just kind of like ruined the whole aspect of going into a town for me. I think it was like, you know, I'm going into a maze now, so it kind of ruined that element. And then it was also ruined by Carrie. So Sony Entertainment did Evil Dead, which was awesome, and then they put Carrie in Virus C, so the heck? It's Carrie in a zombie maze. That makes sense at all. I think the idea was good. I think if they're gonna do Carrie, it would be a maze of itself, not like putting conflicting things together. But I mean, monsters were great. They did their part. I'm talking about the actual maze itself. It was 7 or 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, monsters were great. They did what they were supposed to do. But I'm just talking about the maze aspect. It was just horrible. But yeah. So let's go on to Fallout Shelter. I don't know what's wrong with the lake area. Fallout Shelter was huge its opening year. 2010. 2011, it lost some rooms. I was like, I don't care. This year, it was like, it's like walking through a small house. It was like, I'm in, now I'm out. It's like nothing. They got rid of so much stuff. There wasn't even a shower room. They had like one shower head on the wall and that was it. I was like, this isn't even a room. It's like, I don't know if, like, is there complaints because there's roller coasters close by and they can't build that far out? I don't know. There wasn't really anything new. When I went opening night, none of the animation was working. The robots, none of the robots were like moving. The monsters though, they did a great job opening night. They were like, I don't even know. Maybe they had bets of the other mazes because they were like pumped for it, and like they were going crazy, which was great. They all acted out perfect. So I just want to give a shout out to them because they were great. And as 3D, 3D was great. The same. It was just too short, and it didn't sell the storyline of what it was supposed to be. But so Fallout Shelter, I'm gonna give about a 9 in it. I'm gonna give a 9. Yeah, I'm gonna give a 9 out of 10. And part 3, I'm gonna talk about, you know, overall stuff that happened at Haunt. So subscribe for part 3.